a spin in the MerKaBah. And as I say that out loud, I've actually been doing a weekly webisode series called Change Your Stars, How to Navigate Your Intuitive Gifts to Live Your Life with Purpose. So if you would like to be part of a beta group for a limited time and an exclusive offer, please save your spot and I'll be emailing out the offer when it's ready. This Sunday, I'm going to explore the energy center in our hands. For me, I've been playing with this center for a while now. They're truly magical. So when you have insight into how to maneuver it, it's next level. So be sure to save your spot at tonyad.tv. And with that, I will for sure see you on the other side. But today, let's continue into the MerKaBah, climbing this stairway to your heart's actually inner gateway to manifest in reality. So we need to journey into different states of awarenesses or consciousness. And some of us are literally better at it in some states than we are in others. So it's in our soul and our spirit journey that most of us have been asleep literally at the wheel, just driving through time and space, manifesting in our reality a daze or a haze. And it's the law of attraction is actually magic when you do this, and it's always in action in every moment in time and space and time. What you be is ultimately what comes. And most of us don't even recognize it. Maybe telepathically, you might have said something earlier in your life in that timeline. It's an inside voice, and then all of a sudden it's like voila, poof. It's swish of a magic wand and poof, there it is. It's become into reality. But the true question that you want to really ask yourself, are you fully aware of your beingness, of what you're being? Because human beings are always vibrating and frequenting frequencies. So it's this inner collection of collaboration inside of us, myself included. I'm actually really hilarious in my mind, and oftentimes I crack myself up because there's lots of characters inside there and they're just playing it all out. And we all do this simultaneously. All of these dimensions that I've actually been sharing the last few weeks, they're held behind a magic or an invisible curtain. It's a container like a pot. It's a 0-point field. And I just talked about the magic of a circle on my last webisode, the soul's harmonic. So it's like having your own inner village, your own inner tribe. And each of these cosmic awarenesses and consciousness, they have their own intentions, their own motives, even their own personality. Just by uniting your queendom of your own inner round table, you become literally one of the most powerful singular beings on the earth plane. So far, I've played with our inner consciousness threads. These are the threads that we experience on the human inside of us or within us. So when we start to combine these inner intentions into our outer physical reality, this is an aspect where we produce. We produce inside of us is a building phase, because when we build something, whether it's creating a great meal, a business, a fairy house, we write a book or record a video, create a baby, animals on a farm, whatever it is, that's when we exercise this power of manifestation, or numerically a 10. So it's the magic of the Earth Mother herself, our first self, which the Earth herself, I feel, is actually alive and well in some aspects. And she's actually, I keep having visions of her bumping out, or maybe she's climbing back in energetically, creating a new Earth. And human beings are kind of like the gnats on the Earth, where we need to climb into our wholeness. And also, it's the house, the earth, of where we value ourselves and how we create or make money. In the ancient days, it was associated with the cow or the bull. It's the animal that creates and produces milk and cheese and butters and meats. So it's the sign of anything that can literally make anything next level. Next level, like designers or next level mothers. If and only if it's been grown into being nurtured in reality, it manifests from the idea of that reality. So it's a cow that's very talented. So the Taurus, if you've met one or if you know one, they have this reputation of being stubborn, but they are efficient and they stay on target. They're actually abiding by the citizens of manifestation within the collective roundtable. Now, you might not know this, but a 10 is actually two numbers, right? It's a compound number, a 1 and a 0. And it literally takes two numbers simultaneously to achieve desired results, right? And it actually kind of makes sense, but it's still kind of curious in reality, because we know when we want to create something or manifest something, we have to put several ingredients together and actually hold them there. It's like the ingredients for an outcome. And it's kind of interesting and curious for me. It's actually always curious for me. To manifest, you really have to have these two numbers, these two aspects. And they're necessary to create the energy of Taurus, to manifest the second house and where you manifest. It's the energy of what we love inside of our hearts, and also the container that we're going to protect what we love in. So what does that even look like, right? So it's a combination of a Leo, which is our sun. It's part of what we love, and a Scorpio, which is Pluto, a boundary. It's Hades, right? So side by side, these two, you could say it's the boundary Scorpio that's around love, which is a Leo. So when you put a boundary around a Leo, you actually get a Taurus. Isn't that fascinating? But what that looks like out in the galactic corridor, it really means that the Earth is really a vibrational combination of both the sun and of Pluto. So it's like our own cosmic stars out in the galaxy. So if we were to follow the cosmology, a Taurus, or the house that rules Taurus, or the second house, or the house that is actually opposite your sun sign, that is where your Earth manifestation sits. And you love that something so much, a whole lot of love, and you protect that love in your container, your hero bubble. Just protecting something in the zero, the field, or that bubble. So it's like the sperm and the egg, a Pluto and a Leo, or the baby bird and an egg sitting on the nest, or being at home where you feel protected and you feel safe by the bubble of the house, the container, or what is sheltering you. So when love as an aspect is sheltered, and more importantly, it's protected, that's when it grows. It's the little star in the center of your heart center. It's an aspect we all have. It's the light of the greater spirit. So another way to see it is when you protect an idea, a baby. I like to think of how a Leo protects their babies, the ultimate lion there. If you've ever seen a Leo mother, a project, a manifestation, or whatever it is you want to create and manifest that you absolutely love in your heart literally lights up. Over space and time, that's when you'll attract the equal of whatever that looks like. So you're basically protecting the light of universe or God universe with an intended outcome. Now, a lot of the times, matter of fact, always, the number one question you get, or I get a lot, is how do you manifest the ideal mate? And it's to the point of exhaustion, actually, that when you love yourself, all of yourself in your beingness, every part, every speckle, every color, every dimple, every pound of stuff you don't want, and you protect what that love looks like for you, you will actually draw your equal. What that means is you literally have to love yourself every step of the journey through Earth School. Just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, as you go down that yellow brick road, you love your protection of yourself within your container. You love your heart so much, and you love what you're feeling inside of you, that you actually want to have some of that love returned. What you're believing love is. You love that you ultimately belong where you end up in the journey. You love the thoughts that course through your mind. You love what you see from God universe. And you also love what you sense from God. So it's the seeing and sensing and what you intuitively see or psychically see. It's the Claire's. So you love the decision that you're making along with the direction that you're taking and flowing into. And you also love all of the actions that you make and that you take. And then, and only then, you can stop, stand on top of the project, and then you'll feel kind of like a bunny. Maybe you're all fertile within your village of baby bunnies, and you have the power to law of attract your equal. That's how this happens. And what's amazing is that you become so fertile to everything in the law of the universe of attraction. When you're loving yourself to the point, if you are feeling like a 10 in your life, you're going to manifest 10 times what you normally do on whatever aspect that is. It could be your love life. It could be your career. It could be a car. It doesn't matter what it is, but you will attract your equal. So it's like the cow's milk will just keep giving and giving and giving and giving milk, 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 continuously if it's loved and actually sheltered properly. So what's the knowledge of a zero? So remember, zero, the container, has another sub-zero. It's literally 2 dimensions. It's like infinity. It represents nothing, and it really holds the potential for all states of consciousness and awareness in the pot, or unlimited things and even unlimited possibilities that are really unlimited. So what does this mean is when we manifest in reality, we have to regard these 2 dimensions simultaneously. So when you're consciously visualizing, the 10 represents the quality of the nothing side. It's the idea of the container, the protector. So you have to allow nothing to interfere with your manifestation, somebody else's negative thought, for example, or projection on you. You have to have a protection. You have to have a container. And you have to protect each and every process leading up to whatever you want to manifest or to your 10. You have to maintain integrity, which is my favorite word, integrity. Hard one to hold up to lately, but you have to have the integrity of every aspect while not allowing anything else in. And what happens is you'll consciously or unconsciously, you tend to pollute your ladder of awareness. So when I think of protection, it's literally the container for making sure, and it represents the quality of everything. Actually, it's the idea of trust. So you have to protect all the states of awareness, but more importantly, you have to have trust, or for me, I like the word faith too, just the unseen thing, that things will unfold like an accordion in the mystic laws or universal laws within the universe. In a lot of cases, most of them, it's the aspect of trust that actually sabotages whatever the manifestation is. It's not just trust, but it's trust over time and space and time that ultimately has to be held. So patience is also an issue. It can interfere with our manifestation. Babies aren't made in a day, right? Well, they are in a moment, but they have to be nurtured to fruition in the womb. Just like a hen has to sit on her eggs and she has to trust that those eggs are going to one day crack and hatch and be little baby chickies. So we as beings of humanity, we must hold trust or must love what we trust to manifest in reality. And people are actually impatient most of the time. They expect often almost immediate results, and they kind of get nervous and they literally start to undo or unravel the ladder to their manifestation, just picking it apart. They start to feel weird inside. They don't nurture or even have a conversation with their feelings. They just lose trust with what their feelings are expressing to them. So then the ladder collapses, it falls apart, it breaks. And if you have negative thoughts, you stop aligning your thoughts with your manifestation, your creation. And again, your ladder is going to tumble down. It's like being Humpty Dumpty on the wall. You might judge your actions or the events that actually put those things in motion. People, a lot of times, they're constantly asking, did I do the right thing? Was this the right thing to do? Should I have went down this pathway? Just undermining themselves within both their character and also their behavior, even their intentions. And again, they're just having this ladder, Humpty Dumpty, crack and fall apart. Some even sense that something is off in their sense or in their gifts. Again, in my Change Your Stars, I talk about all the gifts, the intuitive gifts that we all have. And just some of them are working more online than others. But once you know that something is off, and maybe it is off, and what that does is it allows the ladder to fall apart. That's just what causes it. So it's been in my experience that if you sense that something might be off, it's literally better to go ahead and continue manifesting so you can see what's off and recalibrate, because we don't always know what is off. We just have a sense that something's off. And as long as you don't see any danger, Will Robinson, an alert signal from the ethers, it's really a lot easier to sell the wrong thing. You manifest online or at the market or whatever that looks like. Then it's to constantly fail in your manifestations. Well, why? Honestly, we start to lose self-confidence, our self-esteem starts shriveling up, or the confidence in general. It's also known as our soul capital. So we have this soul capital on the other side. It's our sacred garden over there, kind of like our Garden of Eden, but it's generated by the energies of the 1 and the 0. I am magic. I am. I say that all the time. So when you sense that you feel less than a 10, you actually lose your soul credit, literally, with other people, or you just lose credit. So when you don't understand in your fullness of your integrity, so remember what ultimately comes to us is what we are being on the outside of us. So if you are being anything less than a 10, your hero, you will attract less than a 10. And that's actually really how the law of attraction really works. It's in a precision kind of way. So any aspect that you have trouble with inside of you will attract people, places, things, events with the same cosmic trouble at that same aspect. So if you ignore your emotions, you're going to attract people who also ignore their emotions. And a lot of times when I'm working with people who ignore their emotional frequency, they almost always actually tell me, or maybe I watch energetically, they're too busy helping other people who are greedy with their feelings. But the truth of the matter is the person has a law of attracted, they're equal, because we vibrate at frequencies, right? It goes back to the 3, 6, and the 9, the energy, the frequency, and the vibration. So the person is not taking care of their own inner emotions, their feelings. They're attracting somebody who doesn't actually take care of their emotions either. So that's just how this works. So what's the difference? Well, one person is the caretaker and the other person is not. They both have missing characters in their round table. Their missing character is the one that's not nurturing their own inner emotions in their own sacred garden. They have different ways of acting out those issues, which is our action, our character, and our ego. And they're attracted by the fact that they literally have something in common, but they both ignore the emotional state of awareness. They each have a different way of coursing through it and going about it or expressing it or whatever that looks like, because everybody has a different ego or a character in what I call your cosmic soup bowl. But the paradox of all of this is when like attracts like on that vibrational frequency, it usually connects through the opposite attraction. So it's just a loss of manifestation in the observation. You'll always attract the same kind of lower aspects in the vibration of people. They'll have similar boundaries, maybe the same or similar kind of approach to love, the same kinds of feelings, the same kinds of beliefs, maybe even the same kinds of where they belong on planet Earth. Maybe they came from the same neighborhood. They think the same. They love the same, or they love the same things. They receive love in the same way. The integrity line might be different. You have the same spirituality. Maybe you have the same authority issues. I know I have those. But when it comes to the yin and the yang of the galactic universe, manifests the result. So it usually manifests that the opposite of what you brought you two together in the lower frequencies if that makes sense. It's in the manifesting that you'll usually attract by having similar crossroads or interstates where you connect, which are the lower vibrational states of the ladder. And you'll notice the outer numbers, the outer galaxy numbers, the behaviors, the characters, the creation and manifestation. You're coming into being or into your light of what it becomes, or what comes is what bees. So those are opposite in nature in the flow. That's just the yin and the yang of how manifestation works, the polarities. So both things are actually correct. Like does really attract like. Opposites do attract simultaneously in manifestation. So honestly and courageously, what you put into your manifestation, into your cosmic soup, is literally what you're going to get out of it. So if you want an amazing partner, an amazing career, a lover, whatever that looks like, you yourself also have to be that amazing lover, partner, friend, career, etc. Just by being that energy to yourself, the frequency and the vibration included in your cosmic soup, you're going to attract with the same energy, frequency, and vibration, only they're going to express it in the opposing way. So they're actually an interesting, cosmic version of yourself. Honestly, it's the reverse image of ourself in the mirror. It's like the mirror, the defect in a way, because we always attract a mirror of us, but it's the reverse image, the opposite, like on top, on the galactic corridor, but the same inner motivations on the inside of us are at the bottom. That's why every human being, animal, plant, environment, whatever that you surround yourself with or you have around you is actually a mirrored reflection of your own soul by the laws of attraction. It's what you subscribe to. So every amazing thing that's ever happened to you, ever, has occurred because in that time and space, your container, your zero, you did something amazing to your inner states inside of you at your round table. And yes, bad things as well that has also happened because you have done something negative to yourself on the inside. So what does that look like? Sometimes when we're young, we blame the world for our problems, for our behaviors. But of course, and I'll argue, I'm actually kind of good at questioning and staying curious. It's the very behavior within themselves or within ourselves that brought on the problems of the world to them. So you might be curious and you might be wondering, because that's how I function, what about people who have had horrific childhoods? Absolutely, that's not their fault. But I believe it's a natural state of cause and effect. I believe in a child's last lifetime, in this lifetime of this childhood, was literally a result of their inner behavior from a different lifetime. So, or a prior lifetime in the consciousness threads and time and space, past lives basically. So I believe and I sense and I feel, mostly I feel and I sense, that these vibrations or frequencies, the energy, they carry over and continue to heal within the timeline or the lifetime. So this is where our Change Your Stars story actually kind of begins, exactly where the story kind of last ended. It's the story again in the world of creation and manifestation. It's not so much in what the world does to us, but how we treat ourselves on the inside as a result. So it's the relationship to ourselves and how we were. And this is where we're really learning and changing our stars of who we are. This is where our story really is, because you are here to manifest and experience of being you authentically. And what's more important is not where you came from or even where you're going in the streams of life, but what you are being right now in the moment, what you be in the quantum moment, is what will come in the next quantum moment. And the universe doesn't really count the past or the future, only we do. And it's also how we respond to that on our insight. So if you want to tune into more, tune in on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe there. Thanks for tuning in general anyway. But yeah, if you're on my YouTube channel, please subscribe and ring the bell. If you're watching on social media, comment, like, and share. If you're curious about my Sunday webisode, Change Your Stars, you can save your spot at tonyad.tv. I'm super excited about this Sunday. Again, like I said, it's all in the power of the hands. And with all of that, Ashe, and I will see you on the other side.